Hello, friends. How are we doing? It's been a few weeks since I haven't posted on the TFB stocks, but neither have I posted on the fighting business either. I mean, it's been a rough week, you know what I mean? Like a holiday season and stuff. I'm just kidding. I'm just a lazy piece of shit. I am actually working on the greatest, or what's it called? The absolute best of all for 2023. So it's going to be like a 35 minute video on the main channel. And it's going to be covering like basically all the top moments from, like, let's say the greatest KOs, greatest submissions. So it's going to be a super big video. And on the second channel, I also wanted to do something, recapping 2023, but I didn't want to go over like basically the greatest moments. Instead, I'm going to go over and look forward in the future in 2024 and try to predict each champion for each divisions. So I've created some sort of graphics here where we're going to go over each division, and basically what's going to happen is I'm just going to reveal who have I picked for each division, but basically explain it. So it's going to be a pretty fun video to make. I haven't done one of those on the second channel. I feel like I should be doing much more of these more often. So yes, this is where we're going to get started at women's strawweight. These two women division haven't been super active. Not a lot of like activities usually, outside of maybe like Jessica Andrade. Women aren't fighting 2-3 times a year. Weili only fought once this year, if I'm not mistaken. She got the title last year at 274 against Carla, and then won this year against Lemos. I think women's strawweight in terms of, the next year is still going to be Weili Zhang, in my opinion. I think, who's the next contender? Probably Yan Xiaonan. That Chinese girl, she's good, man. I've watched that fight against Jessica Andrade. I think she's really she's deserving of that next title shot, and also like that fight between two, how can I say, powerful Chinese strikers. I mean, it's going to be a fun matchup to watch. Also the two are like the same age as well. They're very similar in terms of attributes, but I just think in terms of experience and confidence, Weili's like on a different level. She's been at the top for a little while now, and I don't see her like Jessica Andrade is kind of like she's a bulldog, right? But she's not a technical striker as much as Weili Zhang is. So I don't see Weili Zhang getting caught with the same amount of shots. And I think in that fight, she will be able to prevail in terms of the striking and stamina and cardio and stuff like that. So over the course of 5 rounds, I do see Weili Zhang winning that fight against Yan Xiaonan. So I'm going to pick Weili Zhang to remain champion by the end of 2024 in the women's strawweight division. Moving to the women's flyweight division, who have I picked? I picked Erin Blanchfield to be champion by the end of next year. I mean, listen, it's a tough one because Alexa Grasso is really good. I just think, like I said, I think it's going to be a one fight this year. You know what I mean? I don't see the women's flyweight champion defending the title, or like what do I mean? I mean like fighting more than once a year. So I think Alexa Grasso's probably going to fight Erin Blanchfield by, obviously in 2024. And I think Blanchfield, man, she's on a rocket ship right now. She has tremendous, momentum. She hasn't lost in so many fights. And I think Grasso, coming off like the draw with Valentina Shevchenko, might not have the same amount of confidence. I think Erin Blanchfield just is the future of the flyweight division for now, at least. So I'm going to pick Erin Blanchfield, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Grasso keep it. I think she's really good as well, but I mean it's a coin toss up in my opinion for the women's flyweight. Moving on to the flyweight division, who have I picked? I think I know who have I picked. I've picked Alexandre Pantoja. I mean, listen, why is this picture so low quality, man? Like, what the fuck is this? Damn, this pick is horrible. I have to pick a better pick. The graphics and stuff, very important to me. Ooh, much better. All right. So, Alexandre Pantoja. Pantoja, I think, listen, I want to be biased. I want to say Brandon Moreno would like beat Amir Albazi and get a 4th fight and win again, but why do I not see it happening? I just don't know. I don't see it happening, and maybe I'm wrong because I said the same thing with the whole, Izzy and Pereira trilogy, and like I felt like just Pereira had his number, and then Izzy ended up winning. But Pantoja just seems very, very dominant in every aspect of MMA. He is getting older. He's like 34, 35, while Brandon is like just 30. So Moreno's a bit younger. If I were to say some other guy would be champion, it would be Moreno, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think if they even fight it, Moreno could win. And obviously Moreno has a fight against Amir Albazi as well, early next year. And with the whole damage and punishment that he's taken in his last few fights, like there's some questions regarding Moreno. So safe bet would be Alexandre Pantoja, but I would love to see Moreno win. I just can't bet against Pantoja right now. I mean, I think by the end of next year he could be like one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world. He's just that good. Moving on to the bantamweight division. Bantamweight division. Who have I picked? I made this list yesterday. I think I know who I've picked. And yeah, maybe I'm a bit biased, but Corey Sandhagen, I just think he's the best bantamweight in the world right now, especially now that Aljamain Sterling is gone. Corey Sandhagen has completely transcended his career since that loss, and obviously that Petr Yan loss, but it was such a close and good fight. I think Corey Sandhagen, in terms of like mixed martial artist, is the best at 135. He's a better version of of Sean O'Malley on the feet, and also has grappling, jiu-jitsu, and IQ of someone I have rarely ever seen. He might, his last fight might not have been the most interesting or entertaining fight, but he's a smart fighter, and I always try to bet with the smartest fighter. And Corey Sandhagen, if I see a path, I think Sean O'Malley probably beats Marlon Vera in his next fight, and then they would have to make Sean O'Malley and Corey next. It has to be the fight. Corey completely destroyed Marlon Vera in his last fight, or the fight before that, and Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen is just an absolute dream matchup at 135. In the whole UFC, those two are super similar, and be super, super fun to watch them fight. And I think Corey just beats Sean O'Malley, in my opinion. So that's who I'm going to pick ending the year as the bantamweight champion. It's going to be Corey Sandhagen. If we move on to the featherweight division, I have picked, yes, the Spanish, or what's the other country he's from? The country of Merab Dvalishvili. What's the name of it, bro? Put it in the comments. I don't remember the name of the country, because he's from both. He's from Spain and Georgia. Yeah, Georgia is the name. So yeah, Ilia Topuria, listen, he's good. He's very, very good, very, very dangerous. And unfortunately, I do think Alexander Volkanovski has has peaked in his career. I think I don't want to say he's going to go downhill and have like a crazy downfall, but I just think in terms of the success he's had, he's reached the top. And I don't think that last fight against Islam Makhachev just is a big tough pill to swallow for your physical health and also mental health, and coming against a guy like Ilia Topuria, who's such good everywhere. They're very similar fighters when you look at it. Ilia Topuria and Alexander Volkanovski. And when you look at, like, let's say Volkanovski's run at the title and the last few guys he's fought, it was always like, longer, rangier, kind of like less power, but more like technical striking. You look at Max Holloway, you look at Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega. Those are all tall, long guys for the featherweight division. And Ilia Topuria comes in with a whole different style. He's more short, stocky, very good at defending takedowns, very good on the ground, and has tremendous power. So I think Ilia Topuria is going to win against Alexander Volkanovski. And if he defends the title against whoever is next, Max Holloway or whatever, I think Ilia just keeps winning. He's just that good. So yeah, but I might be wrong. Those are my prediction. I always, whenever I talk, I'm like, but it's Alexander Volkanovski, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps the title. I just have to make this bet because I do think the next wave at 145 is Ilia Topuria. So that's who I'm going to pick to end the year as the champion. For the lightweight division, it's not changing hands, boys. Islam Makhachev will remain champion. I don't see him losing. Listen, the only challenge that I see might be Arman Tsarukyan, But I don't know if they're even gonna fight this year, to be honest. If it's Justin Gaethje next, or if it's Charles Oliveira, it might be these two next. If it's I don't know. I think the UFC might try to do Justin Gaethje next. It pisses me off because I'm a big Charles Oliveira fan, and I would love to see Oliveira win. But I don't know if they do make that Arman Tsarukyan fight this year. And even if they do, I think Islam still has the upper hand in terms of the overall skills. But it would be an absolute, coin toss, in my opinion, if they even make this fight this year. So it's kind of like I'm trying to bet here, and like I'm thinking to myself, the only guy that would beat Islam right now would be Arman, and I don't even know if they make that fight this year. You know what I mean? So if Arman has to fight Charles Oliveira next, does he win that fight? So there's a lot of like contributing factors right now that I'm not willing to bet against Islam to end the year as the lightweight champion still. So I'm going to pick Islam Makhachev to end the year as lightweight champion, as the welterweight champion. I'm going with the Riz Lord. Wait, you're not even seeing this right. Now you're seeing it. The one and only Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think this guy's the best welterweight in the world right now. I think that's just what he is. There's no... If they made it like a tournament right now, Shavkat Rakhmonov is the best guy at 170. I would just love to see him versus Khamzat Chimaev. I think that fight would just be absolutely crazy. But Khamzat's just too big for welterweight, so that's not going to happen. The way I see it is most likely Leon Edwards beats Bilal Muhammad at UFC 300, and then they make Shavkat versus Leon next for the end of the year, and I think Shavkat wins that fight. I think he beats him up pretty much everywhere. If it's on the feet, it might be a little harder, but I think still Shavkat just has more of that dog in him. You know what I mean? That power is going to be a beneficial factor, and obviously the takedowns and stuff like that. I think he's the next, the next Islam, the next Khabib. He's just that good, and I just love to see him fight. I mean, he's just good everywhere. He's not like the type of guy who's going to sniff your crotch the way Masvidal says it like the whole fight. You know what I mean? He has like other skill set that are fun to watch even as a fan. So I'm a big fan of Shavkat, and I think he's the next welterweight champion of the world. So that's who I'm gonna pick. At middleweight, I'm going. What am I going with? Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I mean, Khamzat Chimaev. Listen, it's a bit of a tough pick. It's a bit of like a coin toss as well. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to happen for him to be champion, but I think Sean O'Malley versus Dricus du Plessis, unfortunately, are not the best middleweight in the world. I think if they made a tournament right now, Khamzat Chimaev is, as much as we want to say, his last fight wasn't the best or whatever. I think in terms of overall skills, he's just that good. His chin is great. His hands are very good, and his grappling is, the best by far at middleweight right now. So, I think they're going to try to give Khamzat Chimaev the winner of Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis, or they might do Khamzat Chimaev versus Adesanya. I think Chimaev completely destroys Adesanya. It wouldn't be competitive, and I think he fights for the title by the end of the year, and he wins it. So that's who I'm going to go with. Khamzat Chimaev, he's dangerous. He's very dangerous for the middleweight division, especially middleweight. I mean, they don't have any wrestlers. They don't have any grapplers, especially, at the top. So light heavyweight division, this is a very unique pick. I mean, I'm not sure a lot of people would pick him. I mean, he's getting old, but I'm just a big fan, and I wanted to pick him. I might be a little biased, but yeah, Khalil Rountree Jr. I think he has one more fight before he gets the title shot, and especially if Alex Pereira is still the champion, him versus Khalil Rountree Jr. would be absolutely a barn burner. So maybe I'm just putting it in the air just so it happens, but I think Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill is next by probably early next year, and I think Alex Pereira wins that fight, in my opinion. But listen, it's still a coin toss. That fight is still a coin toss. But I think regardless, if it's Pereira or if it's Jamal Hill, I mean, Khalil Rountree Jr. could still be next right after this. You know what I mean? He's been on this tear recently, and they could give him the title shot. But if he wins one more, I think he gets the title shot 100%. And he would be a lock. I think he would, not a lock, but he would have a lot of chances to win that light heavyweight championship. And that's who I'm going to pick. So hopefully we see Khalil Rountree Jr. fight for the title next year. I would love to see it, especially against Alex Pereira, two high-level, kickboxer, Muay Thai versus kickboxing. It would be just so fun to watch. So that's who I'm going to pick. All right, the last two divisions. There's one more division, and then I have pound for pound at the end. So I'm gonna go over these last two categories. Heavyweights. I think it's pretty. It would be like the most obvious choice to make. I think out of all the divisions, Tom Aspinall is by far the highest probability of him being, champion by the end of the year, whether he fights John Jones or Stipe, or he just becomes, the undisputed title. I mean, he's already the interim champion. And I think, John Jones doesn't want to fight him. So whoever he fights next, whether it's Cyril Gane, whether it's, who else could they, Jelton Almeida. I mean, I think Aspinall beats them pretty easily. And I think regardless of if he fights John Jones or not, even if he fights John Jones, to be honest, I would probably favor Tom Aspinall. He's just that good. And I don't think it's going to happen. I just think if I were to bet, I think the probability are that he fights Cyril Gane next. He probably beats Cyril Gane, and then John Jones fights Stipe by the end of the year. He retires, and then Tom Aspinall becomes the undisputed champion by the end of the year. That's probably what I think is going to happen. So I don't know if John Jones is going to hold to the title for a little while, but I think it's going to happen inevitably. It's been pretty clear, you know what I mean? John Jones doesn't want to fight the up-and-comers, and I mean, we're not going to blame him. I mean, he's had the career. It's just a bit unfortunate that he becomes heavyweight and then just fights the easiest guy who hasn't fought in 3 years, who's probably like 56-year-old by the time. So it's like a bit of a, weird situation. But I mean, I still think Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight in the world. And that's who I'm going to pick right now to be to end the year as the heavyweight undisputed champion. In terms of pound for pound, this is my last category I've chosen. Listen, it might not be the most popular choice, and it's not a fun choice to make, but I have to keep Islam. Listen, I was debating a lot last night when I made this graphics and this list, and I picked these fighters. I was like, listen, there's a lot of guys. I was thinking Tom Aspinall. I was thinking Pantoja. I was thinking probably maybe some Shavkat. You know what I mean? I was thinking some of these guys might be there, but right now, as we speak, Islam Makhachev is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and I have predicted that he keeps his title by the end of 2024. So he will probably just remains the #1 pound-for-pound. It's not like he's going to have the best year. That's not what I'm predicting. I'm not saying he's going to have the greatest year in 2024, but I do think that nobody else is going to do something that major to dethrone Islam as the champion, as the pound-for-pound #1, just because Islam is also going to retain his title, in my opinion, in 2024. So that's what I see happening. I think after 2024 would be a good idea for Islam to move up to welterweight. It'd be a fun matchup. I mean, right now, those matchups just don't make sense. Let the guy defend the title. Let Leon Edwards fight for the title, defend his belt, and Islam do the same thing. I mean, I don't know what's up with these guys just getting the title, one defense and then wanting to move up. Like, defend your title, get some consistency going in your division. And then I think if he does it, he fights twice this year and defend the title, he could move up in 2024. I think that would be an amazing matchup against whoever's, I mean, I've predicted Shavkat, but I mean, Shavkat versus Islam would be absolutely amazing as well. So that's who I'm going to pick. Those are my picks. Let me know what you think down below, or, another tier list or category video you would like to see. Wait, why is Pantoja right here? Oopsies. All right, so Weili Zhang, Aaron Blanchfield, Pantoja, Corey Sandhagen, Topuria, Makhachev, Shavkat, Khamzat Chimaev, Khalil Rountree Jr., Tom Aspinall, and as the pound-for-pound king, Islam Makhachev. Those are my picks. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys next year. A happy new year. This is December 31st, man. I'm going to go enjoy my family tonight, and see you next year. Peace out, boys.